All right. Hi, everyone. So I just put a link to the agenda in the chat if you want to click on it. I'm going to share my screen right now, though, so you can also just see what I'm working on. But you're welcome to open up your own as well. And so you are here because you've either offered or you're being asked, or principals, you're just here because you want to know what health screening looks like. And so we're providing a quick training today that we can share. And so part of the safety, COVID safety reopening plan is that we do a health screening before kids arrive and enter campus, and the same before they get on a school bus. So we have a couple of different procedures in place, one for when students arrive to campus and one for when students want to get on a bus. But basically, the quick and easy of it is we're checking temperatures and we're checking for symptoms. And so if the students do not have any of those symptoms there, and they do not have a temperature greater than 100.4 degrees, then they get to come to school, and then they get to get on a school bus. Our part on what we're hoping, as we're getting ready to screen hundreds of kids on Monday morning, is that we can make this a really quick and efficient process. Very, very simplified. It's really just a two-step process. One, we're going to verify that parents have completed their Parent Square electronic health screening. If they've done that, then you get to go on to step number two. Step number two is we just have a thermometer in our hands. We're checking to make sure their temperature is not above 100.4 degrees. If on your first reading it is above 100.4, then you can take a second reading, you can take a third reading, but we're looking for below 100.4. The part about the dashboard, and each site may handle a little bit differently. We have a lot of iPads that'll be assigned to screeners where you can look through it visually. I know at some sites they may print a paper copy of everyone that's completed by a certain time of day, depending on when school screening starts, and then you'll be able to run it through in a paper copy. This is going to be the trickiest part as we get started, because we want to make sure parents have done their part. And I have a small little screenshot of what the dashboard looks like. But if you're a screener, you're likely going to be given access to the dashboard. And let me see, Amanda, give me something if you can see that. Does that show up okay on your screen? Okay. So the dashboard, I just took the very top of this dashboard. Look, it's Brandon School. It tells you how many kids have completed, how many kids have not completed. What's really important right there, one child had a symptomatic response. That's important to know because we want to know who that kid is. We don't want that kid coming on campus. So it's like a red flag for you. The other part is there's 233 kids that have completed. That's what we want. We want to get to the place where every single parent does this every single day, because these 142 non-responses, that's where your problem is going to be. When students come on campus, if they, and you flip through this, and this list here is just alphabetic, and there's a couple different ways you can sort on it, but you'll be able to go real quick to see if they've submitted. If they have not submitted and a parent is there, you may ask them the questions. If the parent is not there, we are not asking students questions. Those students will have to be asked to sit aside in an isolation area until we can call their parents. And so we're only asking parents the questions, the 5 questions on our screening. These are the same 5 questions that'll be on Parent Square. It's actually gonna be updated one more time this evening. Let me take you to this procedure right here. This is the school site. Most of you will be at school sites helping out, just getting kids on campus and getting them into classrooms. Again, pretty quick and easy. Step 1, we all have our mask on all the time. Step 2, we check the Parent Square dashboard, either electronically if you have an iPad, or on the paper you're provided by your SOM, SOA, or principal. So we'll go through it again. If the parent screening was done, great. You get to go right to step 3, and that's just taking the temperature, and then the kid gets admitted. The whole process should take 15 seconds, 20 seconds. If the child's parents did not complete it, Let's go this one. If the child did not complete it, but the parent is right there with them, because some parents still drop off their kids, then you may ask them the questions. And there's 5 questions we have now. In the past 14 days, have you or anyone in your household had close contact with someone or who has or is suspected of COVID-19? In the past 48 hours, have you or your children experienced any of the following symptoms? And there's that list of our symptoms we've all seen. Question number 3, has the child tested positive for COVID-19 within the past 10 days? Question 4, is your child currently in quarantine for exposure to COVID-19? If they've been asked to quarantine, they may not come to school, even if they say they're feeling fine. And then the very last question, to certify safe entry into a school, have you answered yes to any of the above questions? The yes on the parent square brings up a red flag saying you can't come to school today. But if you're doing that in person, if they answer yes to any of those questions, that's your own internal red flag saying, oh, you can't come to school today. What you need to do in that case is note their name, and then you'll share that with the SOA or SOM. If you get to, let's go back to this one. If you have a child walk up to you and their parent has not completed the Parent Square health screening, we're not asking children the questions. Those children will have to go sit in the isolation area as identified by your site principal until we can call their parents. And the first day or two, that we could have more than a handful of kids there, but that is going to be the area until we can get someone to make phone calls for those kids. An SOA, SOM, community liaison, any other person is designated by the principal can make phone calls and say, hey, Billy, we don't have his health screening. Can you answer these questions over the phone? Someone can do that, and that is fine. But we have to contact a parent to do that. And then as we go through, what we're hoping in the first couple of days, we just get to all parents doing this every day. There will be a little bit of a learning curve. So we get back down here. If all the answers to the 5 questions are no, then you get to take their temperature. And if they're below 100.4, the kids get to come to school. If it's above 100.4, write the kid's name down, share it with the SOA, and then send them home with their parent. The part that's different for our bus screeners, this is pretty much the same thing. Parents are being told that they have to attend students at the bus pickups. But the one difference is if a kid comes to a bus stop by themselves and does not have a parent, and we don't have a Parent Square health screening completed, and we can't reach them, the student may not enter the bus, and we have to stay with them until we've made contact with the parent. Either the parent will come pick up the child, or we can ask the 5 questions over the phone. So we need, it's all a learning curve, but we're going to want to jump to that as soon as possible. Let me show you real quick the bus screening. It's really pretty similar. There's a little bit of information about the buses. We want to be at bus stops a little bit early. The key to this one is we want kids screened before the bus gets there. Many of our stops are at a stop sign or in a street or in a 1-lane road where we don't really have a ton of time to screen as the bus is waiting. So we want kids pre-screened. Same type of questions. We check the iPad. If the Parent Square health screening is done, we check the temperature. We're going to put a sticker on the kids so the bus driver knows they've been screened, and then they can get on the bus. Where we differ in this one is just what I've mentioned. If we don't have a parent present, the parent is not at the stop, and we either have something above 100.4 or the parent screening has not been done on Parent Square, then we will call. My secretary will be offering support. We'll have extra support with MOT. We have community liaisons. You'll get down here to the bottom. There's a lot of people with phone numbers that will be added that will be supporting this if we get kids on a bus stop and we don't have their screening complete. But before we let them on the bus, we have to have a completed screening. So let me take just real quick a couple of questions that you might have right now before we can watch a real quick video. And then Susan, by all means, feel free to jump in if you have something you want to add. No questions.
Brian, Brian, I only have one. Do you have an image that we can see of what the parents see when they log in?
No, but I can open up my parent square and I'll show you real quick. Let's do the video real quick. The video is real short. It's basically saying the same thing that we have here, but just so we see it again. And then I'll show you what the parent square looks like from the parent side, since I have a child that is at Brandon.
Is that the best school ever? Yes. Okay. Sorry. Yes. Thank you.
So let's, we're going to thank Jim Baccato for the video he did. He put this together for us amongst everything else he's doing. And this is, let me just ask real quick. Can you see this okay?
No.
Oh, it didn't come up at all. Hold on. I'm gonna stop sharing and then share again. Hold on. Let me see. All right, Abby, I can see you. Oh, Amanda, yep. Okay. So let's go here real quick. All right, it's quick 2 minutes. All right.